Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ram. The first time you are watching me, I'm a Nigeria designer based here in Lagos, Nigeria. And if you're a returner subscriber, thank you for coming back. So guys, today we are making a wide leg trouser that I made, and I used 2 yards of fabric. I don't really remember the name of the fabric, but if you guys know it, make sure you share with me in the comment section. Have you subscribed to my channel? If not, make sure you subscribe to my channel, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to ring the notification bell so wherever I posted a new video you'll be notified. And if you have any questions to ask me, make sure you leave the comment in the comment section so that I'll be able to attend to you. So guys, let's move right into it. So guys, this is the fabric that I'm using. As I said before, I don't know the name. If you know it, share it with you in the comment section. So I went ahead and I folded the fabric into two. As you can see, you have some savages that I don't need there, so I'm going to roll a straight line there to which is going to be my starting point, and also roll a straight line at the edges there, which is going to be my waistline. So after that, I come in by 1 inches. So from 1 inch that I come in, I'm going to measure my measurement. My waist is 30 divided by 4, which is 7.5. I added 2 inches for the plating because the front have a plating. So after adding the 2 inches there, I will also add 1 inch extra for sewing allowance. So from the waistline there, I come down by 8 inches, which is going to be the distance between the waist and the hip line. So I mark my 8 inches for the hip line, which I also took my measurement. My hip is 41 divided by 4, which is 10.25, so I mark it. And I added half an inch for A's. This is not a fitted trouser. So after doing that, I added 1 inch for sewing allowance. So the next thing that I do is to mark my crotch line, which is 10 inches from the waist to the crotch, so which is 10 inches. So that is what I'm sewing so that you guys can see clearly. So I mark 10 inches. So from there I draw in a straight line. And as I was saying, this is not a fitted trouser. So for the crotch there, I used 25. So I divide 25 by 2, which is giving me 12.5. So that's what you see me marking then, and I added 1 inch sewing allowance there. After doing that finish, I use my curve folder to connect the point together. And also by the side, I use my curve folder to connect from the hip to the waistline, as you see me doing so. So the next thing to do is to mark my full length. I use 44 inches. So I use 44 inches. So I use my ruler to draw in a straight line there, and also bring the line I just bring the line down. So the next thing that I did is mark what I have at my crotch line, which is 14 inches. So from the 14 inches that I got from the crotch line there, I'll also mark it from the hem line, I mean the length there. So that's what you see me marking there, and I will use my ruler to connect the the point together. As I was saying, is not a fitted trouser, so it doesn't need your knee length. So I'm just connecting the lines together from the crotch line to the hem line. So this is how the front is going to look like. So what remains now is to cut it out. Waist, you see me doing so. So guys, after cutting it finish, so what remains now is to cut the back. So I went ahead and I placed it on the fabric. So from the waistline, from the front, you can see me, I come out by 2.5. You can use 3 inches depending on how your client button is. So but mine I use 2.5. You can also use 3 inches, 3.5. It depends on how your client button is. So that's what you see me showing you guys. So I come out by 2.5. So from there, that's where I'm going to start measuring my back trouser. So from there I measure my waist measurements, which is 30 inches. 30 inches divided by 4, which is 7.5. I added 1 inch for the dart and 1 inch for sewing allowance. So guys, before I remove the front part, you can see me drawing a straight line there, which is going to indicate when my crotch is started at the front. So I'm going to use my curve ruler to connect the point together, as you are seeing me doing so. So from there, I'm going to measure 1 inches. 1 inches. So I'm measuring my 1 inches all the way down to the hem line. So I'm using my curve ruler now to slant the waist, from the waist down, to just slant it. So I'm showing you what I measure, which is 20 inches. So from the waistline there, I will just slant it to the 20 inches that I mark. I will see me, I just slanted it. So I'm using my ruler to connect the 1 inches that I come out from the front. So I'm using my ruler to connect the line together. I mean to draw in a straight line down from the crotch line to the hem line. So from the back crotch, I come up by 2 inches. So I just slanted it to the back side. I use my ruler to connect it together. So what remains now is to cut. So guys, this is how the pattern is looking right now. The next thing that I did is to mark my front pocket, because it has a side pocket. It's not an inside pocket, just a front pocket. So guys, from the side front trouser, I come in by 2.5. That was same marking there. And for the length, I measure 6.5. So I use my curve ruler just to curve it. I will see me doing so. Just to curve it, and I will cut it out. So after cutting it out, this is how it is looking. So the next thing to do is to cut the pockets. So I use 7 inches for the wideness. You can see me, I fold it into two, so I use 7 inches for the wideness. And I use 10 inches for the length. So after cutting it finish, I will open it and place the front trousers on top of it, as you see me doing so. So I just tracing out the what I cut from the trouser, from the front trousers. So I'm just tracing out to the pocket that I cut. So I also cut a wet pocket for the back, because I'm putting a wet pocket for the back. I'm not going to show you the sewing parts. If you want a video of it, make sure you leave a comment in the comment section, because if I'm doing all that in one video, the video will be too long, and I don't want you guys to be tired of it. I want you guys to watch it to the end. So I won't show you how I sew it, just show you the cutting parts of it. I also cut the fly zipper at the front. So I'm not showing you guys how I sew it, just only the cutting parts, because everything if everything be in one video, it will be too long. So I don't want the video to be too long. So guys, this is how everything is looking right now. So let's move right into the sewing part. So I will start with the front pocket. So I went ahead and placed my pocket for the front. You can see right side facing the right side. So I'll use my pin to pin it together. So after pinning it together, I will take it to my sewing machine and sew it. So this is how it's looking. After sewing it, you can see I also notch it to make it well relaxed. So I also use the emo glue to glue it together. So after gluing it together, this is how it's looking right now. So as you see me doing so, I will just look at what I'm doing. I don't know how to explain this, but just following the way I'm doing it. So the next thing I'm going to do is to sew in my seam allowance. Just look at the way I did it. So I will just go and sew it. So I'm just using my pin to pin it together. I hope you guys understand this part. So after doing that finish, I went ahead and trim my sewing allowance there, because I don't want it to be too bulky. So I turn it in. So this is how it's going to look. I hope you guys understand it. So guys, after fixing it, make sure you are still maintaining what we cut it out at the side front, make sure you are still maintain it. So as you are seeing me, so I make sure that what I cut out is still the same thing after I fix the pocket. So guys, after I make sure that everything is correct, so I went ahead, I also fixed my flyer zipper. So the next thing to do is to place the front. You know that we added 2 inches extra when we are cutting the trouser. So I'm just placing it as you see me doing so. And also notice that my plate is facing the side. So my plate is facing the side. So both of it is facing the sides. So I will take it to the machine to go and sew it. So let's move right to the back. So first of all, I'm going to notch it, the center. I'm going to notch the center. That's where my dart is going to be. And my dart length is 6 inches. So I mark my 6 inches there. Just a straight line. So I will draw in a straight line. I'm marking half an inch on both sides. And I'll use my set square to draw to connect the line together. So I'll use my pen to pin it. So I will take it to my sewing machine and go ahead and sew it. So after sewing it, this house is looking. And if you wanted to also attach your waist pocket for the back, your waist pocket is going to start when your dart stop. So I went ahead and fixed my waist pocket for the back. So this is how it's looking. So the next thing to do is to join the back trouser together. So I'll start from the crotch line there. So this is how it's looking. So I'll place the front and the back together. So I will use my pen to pin it. If you have a sergeant machine, make sure you also weave your seam allowance. Make sure you weave it. I mean the inner part, make sure you weave it. So I will also, from the crotch line there, I'll pin it and sew everything all the way around. So guys, after joining all the seam together, this is how it's looking. So what remains now is to cut our waistband. Before that, I'm going to make sure that I still maintain my 30 inches, my waist measurement. So I'll use my table to measure it all the way around to make sure that my 30 inches is still there. So you can see I still maintain my 30 inches waist measurement. So let's cut the waistband. So I used 2 inches for the wideness. You can see I folded into 2. So I measure my 30 inches and I added 3 inches to the 30 inches that I mark. So I cut it out. So after finished cutting the band, I also cut my base wrap, which I used 1 inches. So I went ahead and sew it. This is how it's looking right now, as you can see. So I also press the hem line. I use 1 inches for the hem line. Guys, this will be the end of today's tutorial. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, give it a thumbs up, also ring the notification bell, and if you have any questions to ask me, make sure you leave it in the comment section. See you guys in my next video.